Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe, Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe, Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe, Jaya Advaita Acharya, Jaya Advaita Acharya, Advaita Acharya, Jaya Advaita Acharya, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Advaita Jaya Jaya Advaita Acharya Dayamoy, Jaha Hunkare Avatar Loy. Jaya Jaya Advaita Acharya Dayamoy, Jar Hunkare Gaura Avatar Hoy. Jaya Jaya Advaita Acharya Dayamoy, Jar Hunkare Gaura Avatar Hoy. Prema Data Sita Natha Karuna Sagar, Prema Data Sita Natha Karuna Sagar, Jara Prema Rase Aila Gauranga Sundar, Jare Prema Rase Aila Gauranga Sundar, Jaya Jaya Advaita Acharya Dayamon, Jara Hunkare Gaura Avatar Hoy. যাহারে করুণা করি কৃপা দিতে চায়, যাহার করুণা করি কৃপা দিতে চায়, প্রেমাবেশে সেই জন চৈতন্য গুণ গায়, প্রেমাবেশে সে জন চৈতন্য গুণ গায়। জয় জয় हाँ जया जया द्वैत आचार्य दयामय, जार हुंकारे गौर अवतार लय, ताहार चरणे जेबा लैला शरण, ताहार चरणे जेबा लैला शरण, से जन पाइला गौर प्रेम महाधन, से जन पाइला गौर प्रेम महाधन। जय जय अद्वैत आचार्य दयामय, जार हुंकारे गौर अवतार होय। এমন দয়ার নিধি কেন না ভজিলু, এমন দয়ার নিধি কেন না ভজিলু, লোচন বলে নিজ মাঝে বজ্র পড়িলু, লোচন বলে নিজ মাথে বজ্র পড়িলু। जय जय अद्वैत आचार्य दयामय जार हूँ थारे गौर अवतार होय जय जय अद्वैत आचार्य दयामय जार हूँ थारे गौर अवतार होय. Translation. Hail, all hail to the preceptor, Advaita, full of mercy, whose pealing roar invoked the avatar of Gaura. Giver of Prema, Lord of Sita, ocean of compassion, whose Premaras brought Gauranga Sundara. Whoever receives his mercy, on who he bestows his kind glance, that blessed one becomes immersed in prema and sings the divine excellence of Gaura. Whoever sought refuge at his feet, that same acquired the greatest wealth of Gaura prema. Lochana says, why did I not adore such a repository of bounding grace? By that I have brought a thunderbolt upon my own head. Advaita Acharya ki jai. I will do Advaita Ashtakam by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. हुंकार गर्जनादि अहोरात्र सद्गुणं हा कृष्ण राधिकानाथ प्रार्थनादि भावनम् धूपदीपकस्तूरी च चन्द्रनादि लेपनं सीतानाथद्वैतचरणार विन्दभावनम् गङ्गावारि मनोहारि तुलस्यादि मञ्जिरीं कृष्णज्ञान सदा ध्यान प्रेम वारि झर्झरि कृपाब्धि करुणानाथ भविष्यति प्रार्थनम् सीतानाथ द्वैतचरणरविन्द भावनम् अद्वैताचरणारविन्द ज्ञानध्यान भावनम् सदाद्वैत पादपद्म रेणुराशिधारणम् देहि भक्तिं जगन्नाथ रक्ष मां भाजनम् सीतानाथ द्वैतचरणारविन्द भावनम् सर्वदाता सीतानाथ प्राणेश्वर सद्गुणं ये जपन्ति सीतानाथ पादपद्म केवलम् दीयतां करुणानाथ भक्तियोगतत्क्षणम् सीतानाथ द्वैत चरणारविन्द भावनम् श्री चैतन्य जयाद्वैत नित्यानंद करुणामयम् एकंग त्रिधामूर्ति कैशोरादिसरावरम् जीवत्राण भक्ति ज्ञान हुंकारादिगर्जनम् सीतानाथ द्वैतचरणारविन्द भावनम् दीनहीन निन्दकादि प्रेम भक्त विनायकं सर्वदात सीतानाथ शान्तिपूरनायकम् रागरङ्ग सङ्गदोषकर्म योगमोक्षणम् सीतानाथ द्वैतचरणारविन्द भावनम् सीतानाथ द्वैतचरणारविन्द भावनम् सीतानाथ द्वैतचरणारविन्द भावनम् मुहुर्मुहुः कृष्ण कृष्ण उच्चैस्वरे गायतम् अहेनाथ जगत्त्राता मां दृष्टिगोचरम् द्विभुज करुणानाथ दीयतां सुदर्शनम् सीतानाथ द्वैतचरणारविन्द भावनम् श्री अद्वैत प्रार्थनाथ जगन्नाथालयं शचीमातु गर्भजात चैतन्य करुणामयम् श्री अद्वैत संगरंग कीर्तनाभिलासनम् सीतानाथ द्वैतचरणार विन्दभावनम् सीतानाथ द्वैतचरणारविन्द भावनम् सीतानाथ द्वैतचरणारविन्द भावनम्। Advaita Acharya ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Would anybody like to read the translation?
Yes, Mataji, I will. Okay, Raksha Mataji. Okay, Raksha Mataji. Please.
Raksha Mataji, can you read please?
हाँ, स्क्रीन शेयरिंग में बराबर आता नहीं है मेरे, जरा एडजस्ट कर दीजिए प्लीज माताजी।
क्या करूं मैं? फुल स्क्रीन
हाँ,
तो कर दी।
बस आया हाँ आया माताजी। राजकुमारी माताजी, kindly read, I cannot.
Hare Krishna Mother, I will read. Archana Mataji, I will read.
Okay, Radha Vinod Prabhu.
Okay. Roaring like a lion and thundering like a monsoon cloud, he prays days and night. O Krishna, O Lord of Radhika, he smears the Shaligram Sila with the paste of sandalwood and musk and offers arti with incense and lamp. I meditate upon the lotus feet of Sri Advaita Acharya, the Lord of Sita Devi. Second, he worshipped the Saligram Shila with the water of Ganga mixed with the Tulsi manjaris and leaves. Tears of love incessantly flow from his eyes as he meditates upon Krishna and sings his glories. He prays to the Supreme Lord, who is an ocean of mercy, to descend to this world. I meditate upon the lotus feet of Sri Advaita Acharya, the Lord of Sita Devi. Next one. Again and again, he loudly sings the name of Krishna, praying to him, O my Lord, deliverer of the universe, please manifest your exceedingly merciful two-armed forms in my vision. Please award me the proper vision. I meditate upon the lotus feet of Sri Advaita Acharya, the Lord of Sita Devi. 4. Due to the prayers of Sri Advaita Acharya, Sri Chaitanya appeared in the house of Jagannath Mishra in the womb of Mother Sachi. In order to enjoy the association of Sri Advaita, Sri Chaitanya sang the holy name of Lord congregationally and danced with the devotees. I meditate upon the lotus feet of Sri Advaita Acharya, the Lord of Sita Devi. Fifth, the lotus feet of Sri Advaita are the goal of my knowledge. and the object of meditation. I always keep the dust of his lotus feet on my head. Oh my Lord, please bestow devotional service upon this unworthy soul and protect him. I meditate upon the lotus feet of Sri Advaita Acharya, the Lord of Sita Devi. 6. Sri Advaita, the Lord of Sita Devi, is the bestower of all benedictions and perfection, and he is the Lord of my life. That most merciful Lord immediately bestows bhakti upon those who meditate exclusively upon his lotus feet. I meditate upon the lotus feet of Sri Advaita Acharya, the Lord of Sita Devi. 7. All glories to Sri Advaita along with the Sri Chaitanya and the most merciful Nityananda Prabhu. They are all one, but in three different forms, depicting the different phases of life, like adolescence, etc. Sri Advaita roars and thunders in order to deliver the living entities by giving them transcendental knowledge and pure devotional service. I meditate upon the lotus feet of Sri Advaita Acharya, the Lord of Sita Devi. 8. He bestows loving devotional service upon the lowly, mean, blasphemous, and other such fallen people. The bestower of everything, Sri Advaita, the Lord of Sita Devi, is the leader of Shantipura. He frees one from the bondage of material attachment, bad association, creative activities, and mystic yoga. I meditate upon the lotus feet of Sri Advaita Acharya, the Lord of Sita Devi.
Thank you very much, Radha
Yeah,
Vinod
thanks.
Prabhu. Thank
Thank
you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. We start today's presentation by the Mangalacharan. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितां तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुनिरतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम्। So next month is going to be Srila Advaita Acharya's appearance. So today we will discuss about his glorious pastimes, and we hope that we all can remember these pastimes when his appearance day comes. So the most important shloka for the Panchatattva. Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. Out of these five forms of the Panchatattva, the Bhaktavatar is Lord Advaita Acharya. So today we are going to uh, read and understand from the book. Advaita Prakash by his servant Ishana Nagara, who wrote this book. So we will chant some of the um, prayers which Ishana Nagara himself wrote, and then we will continue. श्रीलाद्वैतगुरुं वन्दे हरिणाद्वैतमेव तं प्रकाशितं परं ब्रह्म योऽवतीर्णक्षितो हरि. I offer my respectful obeisances to my spiritual master Sri Advaita Prabhu, who is non-different from Lord Hari. He induced the Supreme Lord Hari to manifest in this world. Antah Krishnam Bahirgoram Krishna Chaitanya Samyakam Premabdhim Satchidanandam Sarva Sakshashrayam Bhaje. I worship Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is outwardly of a fair complexion, but is inwardly Krishna himself. He is an ocean of love, eternally full of knowledge and bliss, and the origin of all energies. श्रीनित्यानन्दरामं हि दयालुं प्रेमदीपकं गदाधरं च श्रीवासं वन्दे राधेयसेविनम्. I offer my obeisances to Sri Nityananda Rama, who is most merciful and who illuminates love of God. I offer my obeisances to Gadadhar and Srivas, who are engaged in the service of the Lord of Radharani. All glories to Sri Chaitanya, all glories to Sitanath, all glories to Nityananda, along with all the devotees. Ja. So once, Lord Sadashiva, he saw that Kali Yuga was filled with terrible, terrible sins. And he was thinking, how can I deliver these living entities? Then he had a long discussion with his consort Yogamaya. And he concluded that no one other than Lord Hari could deliver the fallen souls. So Sadashiva, he went to the shore of the causal ocean, Karanarnava. And he was a great yogi, so he sat in yogic meditation for 700 years until Mahavishnu, the Lord of the universe, he was pleased by his severe austerities and he appeared before him. And when the Panchanana, Lord Shiva, saw Lord Narayana, he offered many, many prayers to him. And then Mahavishnu said, why are you calling me? Why are you thinking of me? Why are you meditating upon me? You and I are non-different except for our separate bodies. Saying this, he embraced Lord Shiva. And at that moment, the two bodies became one. So it was most wonderful how they became one form. Pure golden with effulgent limbs. And both were chanting, both means this one body was chanting Krishna, Krishna. And suddenly there was a there was a sound, miraculous sound from the sky. And what it said? It said, listen Mahavishnu. So now from that combined form, the voice is addressing Mahavishnu. So listen Mahavishnu, you first descend in this form, in this combined form, in the womb of Labha Devi, and later I will descend in the district of Nadia in the house of Shachi and Jagannath. Balaram and other devotees also take birth in order to deliver the living entities. On hearing this, Mahavishnu, who is not different from Lord Shiva, now they are a combined form, entered into the womb of Labha Devi in Shantipur. So, who was this Labha Devi? Labha Devi was the austere and chaste and religious minded wife of Kubera Pandit. Now, who is this Kubera Pandit? Previously, in the past, the Kubera Pandit had performed many, many austerities and chanted many, many mantras to get Lord Shiva as his son. Lord Shiva was very pleased by his austerities and said, okay, your desire will be fulfilled. So that is why that Kubera, he took birth in this world as Kubera Pandit. and he was given the name Kubera Acharya, and um, he was worshipable by everybody. Everybody worshipped him because he was so knowledgeable and so religious. So he had so many good qualities, and he was the son of Narasimha. Now, who is Narasimha? So Narasimha was the king's pandit at that time. The king's name was Sri Ganesh. So this king, he took the counsel of Narasimha, who was his court pandit, and by that strength, he defeated the Badshah at that time, and he became the king. So that Narasimha, his son was Kubera Acharya. And he also in turn became the king's pandit. At that time, the king's name was Divya Simha. So when Kubera became the court pandit, the king's name was Divya Simha. So after Kuberacharya got married, he had many sons. But when they all died, he went to Shantipur on the bank of Ganga. He left this place called Lauda, which is in Bangladesh now. So he left that place and he went to a place called Shantipur. So before we begin the pastime of Advaita Acharya, we want to chant this shloka, which is coming on your screen. Janma guhyam bhagavato ya etat prayato naraha sayam pratar grinan bhaktya dukkha grama vimuchyate. Whoever carefully recites the mysterious appearances of the Lord with devotion in the morning and evening gets relief from all miseries of life. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, third chapter, text number 29. So now you see, dear devotees, that when we chant the holy pastimes of the Lord, of his mysterious appearances and his different activities, Janma Karma Chame Divyam, his transcendental activities. So then what happens? We get relief from all miseries of life. So that is why today we are going to discuss how this Lord appeared to Kuvera Pandit and Labha Devi. So then what happened? He went to Shantipura and he stayed there with his wife Labha Devi for some days. Then one day he saw that Labha Devi is going to become going to become a mother soon. So he worshipped Lord Narayana with so many nice articles because he was quite rich. So he satisfied the brahmanas, he fed the blind people and all that. And at that time, what happened? He got a letter from the king, and the king said, "Please come back. I'm missing you so much." So he came back. At that time in the district of Lauda. His place of residence was in a place called Navagram, and Divya Simha was the king there. So when he returned to Navagram, all the residents were so happy. They gave him a warm reception. So delighted to see the Acharya after so many days. That is Acharya Kubera, and they greeted him. And the king said, "Okay, why have you delayed so much? I was so much missing you. You are so much good association, and tell me some good news." So then the Acharya said, "You're very kind. You're always a motion of mercy. And the where I lived in Shantipur, and the bank of Ganga is such an enchanting place. It is like Swarga. And only because you ordered me, I came. Otherwise, I had no desire to leave that place." So, but by the will of the Lord, my wife is also again become pregnant. So let us see what is destined for us. So the king said, because she became pregnant in a holy place like Shantipur, I'm sure she will be result will be auspicious. Don't worry, don't lament, pray to the Lord, and you will have a wonderful son. So in this way, one Brahmana astrologer also came there in the court of the king. And then he read his chart and he told Kubera Pandit, you will no doubt get a divine son. He will live a long life and he will be fully conversant with religious codes of scriptures, and then he will be widely preaching devotional service. So he said like that, and the astrologer disappeared. Then the Lord, the Kuber Pandit and the king and all, they started searching for him, but he couldn't be found. He was totally disappeared. So then he must, they thought, oh, he must have been some demigod. So Kuber Acharya was very pleased, and he returned home and he told Lava Devi, see, our miseries, I think, are going to disappear soon. And in that pregnancy only, one early morning, Labha Devi, she had a dream in which she saw Lord Harihara appear in her lotus heart. Hari and Hara, Krishna and Shiva, Vishnu and Shiva. So the beauty of the Lord was so sweet, and he was chanting the holy names and dancing with tears of love falling from his eyes. And he chanted and he was roaring also loudly. And hearing this in her dream, all this is happening in her dream. So Yamaraj, who is the son of Suryadev, he came and he saw the transcendental mood and of this personality, and he says, by seeing you and your mood like this, you're dancing and chanting, all the sinful people will be delivered. And then what will I do? My hellish planet will be empty. Nobody will be there. My authority will be finished. Please, my existence also is at danger. So then he said, the Lord smiled and he said, the Mahamantra counteracts the bondage of karma. Okay, and enables us to attain pure Krishna prema. So, by teaching the sinful people about this transcendental holy name, I will empower them and I will deliver them. That is why I will take birth. Then, then later on, people will start singing the praises of Kali Yuga. Wow, this is Dhanya Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga was fantastic, like that. So, he said that I have also one vow. I will bring down Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I will tell the Lord to descend and I will make him come with his followers and overflood this whole country with Krishna Prem, pure Krishna Prem. And then he said, your authority will not be lost, don't worry, because there will be always be blasphemers and atheists and they will never be delivered. So then Yamaraj was happy and he went back. And this dream, Labhadevi woke up and she described the whole thing to Kuber Pandit, who was amazed to hear this. And then subsequently, Advaita Acharya, Advaita Prabhu took birth. He took birth on the auspicious 7th day of the waxing moon in the month of Magha. That is January, February. So next month is coming, his appearance day. So on that auspicious day, all the ladies, they took bath, gave charity, chanted holy names, and as in Bengal, they chanted the Ulu Dhwani, Ulu Lulu Lulu, like that. So all the devotees, they did not understand why they were so happy, because nobody knew that Lord has taken birth. It is Mahavishnu and Sadashiva combined form. So then, in due course of time, the Kubera Pandit, he called the astrologer, and after calculations, the child was named as Kamalaksha. So now, at the age of 5, Kamalaksha grew very fast, and at the age of 5, he looked very, very beautiful. He did not eat anything other than Krishna Prasad. Everything that was offered to Vishnu only he would eat. Otherwise, he would not eat. So, on this one auspicious day, Kubera Pandit gave his son his first lesson. And within 1 month, The child, he mastered the entire what do you call the alphabets, like we have this varnamala, a, I, E, U, and all that. So the child was only 5 years old and he mastered the whole thing within just 1 month. So he was already, people could understand that he was a shrutidhar, that once you tell him, it is absorbed immediately. So one day, Lava Devi was sleeping with her son on her lap, and she again had an amazing dream. She dreamt that her son was a source of Lord Shiva, that is Mahavishnu, and that his this white body of Mahavishnu, four arms holding this mace, conch, lotus, all. And she was in the dream. She was begging, "Please, Lord, give me that water that has washed your lotus feet." And the Lord in her dream was saying, "That is impossible. I have appeared as your son. How can I give my mother the water that has washed my feet?" So he said, "Instead, I will bring all the holy livers and all the holy tirthas and to your doorstep, and you can bathe in them and become successful." So that night, the Lord, Advaita Acharya, he was a he was a child, Kamalaksha. He called all the places of pilgrimage. So the personified tirthas, they said, "Why did you call us here?" Advaita told them, "I want you to, you see that mountain over there? I want you to stay on top of that mountain." The tirtha said, "If we stay there, then what happens to all the holy places? All the glories will be ruined." Then Advaita Prabhu said, "Okay, my words to my mother should not prove false. So you must come here one day every year. Once a year you come." And that day was the 13th day of the waning moon of March and April. In between March and April, there is a waning of the moon. So when the waning of the moon takes place, waning means going towards Amavasya. So from Purnima, it's going to Amavasya on the 13th day. That means another 2 days there will be Amavasya in the month of March and April. And that time you come and you stay there for one. So they said, "Okay, we will promise, we cannot disobey you." And so from that time, that place came to be known as Panatirtha. Now Panatirtha was on the top. Pana means on that holy place, all they made a promise to the Lord. We say Pana or Pana. So promise. So if someone bathes or drinks that water, his desires will be fulfilled. Now, in the morning, Advaita Prabhu, he said, he took his mother and went near this mountain. And then told his mother, "You see now, I'm going to bring all the rivers down here and you can take bath in them." And he blew a conch shell and he played a gong and he loudly chanted the name of Hari. And all of a sudden, streams of water began falling from the top of the mountain. Then he said, "Dear mother, see how your body now is being bathed by this nectarian blackish water of Yamuna. On the other side, there's nectarian water of the Ganga, which is like quartz and like transparent. And then see the other pious rivers, some are red, some are yellow, all are showering on your head." So Labadevi was amazed and she offered her obeisances. And with love and devotion, then she took bath and she gave charity and all that. And since that, then that place is now called as, now this that place, the river, right? Because the personified tirthas, the waters, they came crushed down the mountain, bathed Mother Lava Devi, and then formed this river. Now you see in this picture, right now this river is called Jadukata River in Sunamganj in Bangladesh. Sunamganj, sorry, Sunamganj in Bangladesh. And on top you see that is the Advaita Acharya's house used to be, and those are the deities on the right, you see, worshipped there in the temple. And then below that we will see, this is the Jadukata river. On one side is Advaita Acharya's house, and on the other side of the river is Srila Madhavendra Puri's birthplace. That is also Sunamganj in Bangladesh. But that birthplace is very dilapidated now. You can see in the picture that is the birthplace of Madhavendra Puri. So they were living very close by, as you can see. And later you will see that how Madhavendra Puri initiated Advaita Acharya. So then time passed, then he grew up, then Kuvera Pandit allowed his son, who was quite young, to study with the son of the king, Divyasima. And Advaita Prabhu, he was also a Shrutidar, so he could memorize anything just by hearing once. So just when he studied grammar, he would understand the meaning of every, they call that aphorisms, right? So each aphorism he could understand it just by reading only once. And in 3 years, he completed the entire book. And people will be saying, wow, he has attained transcendental knowledge like that. Because grammar, people take the whole lifetime to understand, to study. But he just within 3 years, he had completely understood it. And he became a master of that. So one day, it was Kamalaksha at that time. Kamalaksha and the son of Divyasimha, King Divyasimha, they went to the temple of goddess Kali. And the prince, he offered his obeisances to the deity of Kali. But Kamalaksha was standing there, he was enjoying the beauty of the deity and he did not pay obeisances. And the prince was continuously telling him, offer obeisances, but he did not hear. And the prince got angry. So he scolded him. The moment he scolded him, Advaita Prabhu got so angry, he roared out, and the prince fell unconscious to the ground by his roar. Then the servants all cried out, alas, alas, they rushed to the king. They told him the king, he came, he was trying to revive his son. The son was not waking up. And Kamalaksha ran away like a small child and he ran, hid himself near some anthill. Then the king was saying, what happened? My child has died or something like that. He was crying. Meanwhile, Kuver Pandit, he rushed and he was searching. After searching for a long time, he saw him, found him. He took him to the place where this whole thing had happened. And the king said, "You are a greatest Brahmana. Why are you doing this kind of a heinous thing?" Advaita Prabhu felt a little embarrassed and said, "He's not dead, he's just unconscious. I'll bring him back to his senses." And he made the child drink, the king's son, drink Charanamrita, the water which has washed the lotus feet of Vishnu. And the prince came back to his consciousness. Seeing that child is back, the king was very joyful and he was very happy and he distributed charity and all that. And then what happened was people got the faith in Charanamrita. That Charanamrita can do such a thing. So that was what he wanted to prove. The glories of Charanamrita, which had washed the lotus feet of Vishnu. So on one auspicious day, Kuber Pandit gave his son the Brahmin thread. And in this way, Advaita Acharya was entering his Brahminical order. In his Pauganda age, 6 to 10 years, that age only the Upanayan ceremony is done. And then he studied various literatures and as well as literary embellishments, because in grammar you have to not only learn grammar but also learn how to write with so many beautiful embellishments. And then the science of astrology. So once what happened during Kali Puja, all kinds of people had gathered in that Kali temple because the king was a great Kali devotee. So at that time Kamalaksha, he came and he just sat down. The king said, "Hey, what is this behavior? You didn't offer your obeisances to Kali." So he said, Supreme Brahman is Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is only my worshipful Lord. And those who fix their minds on the worshipful Lord, they only don't get bewildered. Others all, they follow various philosophies, they will get bewildered. So then his father, he did not like it a bit because he was in the service of the king. So he was arguing with his sons in so many ways. And then all the people in the assembly were amazed that little boy is arguing with the great Pandit. And then finally, because the father is considered as a worshipful guru, so Advaita Prabhu said, he stopped speaking out of respect and he said, Father, please forgive me. And now I will offer my obeisances to the Devi. And so he, saying this, he paid his obeisances. The moment he did that, the deity of the Devi broke into pieces because the deity was conscious. She was said she was embarrassed when her master bowed down before her. So the king, along with the ministers, was all struck with wonder. What happened? What is this? Then Kamalaksha, who is not different from Hari and Hara, he disappeared from that place. So this happened at the age of 12. So he went to Shantipur and nobody knew where he went. Kuberacharya was looking for his son everywhere and he couldn't find him. And he was feeling so great distress. Laba Devi was also grief stricken because his disappearance of her beloved son. She wandered here and there, lowered on the ground, tears were flowing, and sometimes she was asking like questions like an insane woman. Then sometimes she fell unconscious and she appeared like as if she's dead. And Kuberacharya, he would console her in so many ways. Then one day, Kuberacharya and Lavadevi, they were so happy, overjoyed that they received a letter from Kamalaksha. So Kubera said, what is the use to remain here? Let's all go to Shantipur. Let's all go and stay together. And the bank of Ganga, we can easily attain liberation. So the couple departed. They all joyfully went by boat to Shantipur. They came there. And there Kubera was asking his son, what have you done till now? So he said, I'm completing the studies of the six branches of knowledge. So he said, now you should study the four Vedas. Okay, so you can go. So Advaita Prabhu said, yes, I will go to Purnavati. That was the place where they used to go and study. So at the house of one peaceful Brahmana, I'll go there and I will study. So Kubera says, okay, you inform us of your welfare, you study nicely without interruption, everything will be auspicious, so you can go. So they gave him blessings. So then he went to Purnavati. There he found a very pure Brahmana called Shantacharya, and Advaita Acharya began to study the Vedas. And just like he was just acting like a human being. So Advaita Prabhu was a Shrutidhar, and so he studied all the Vedas in just 2 years. Just 2 years. So one day, the Brahmana, he went with his disciples to Ganga, and next to Ganga there was a very large, deep lake, and had many thorny bushes like plants all growing in that lake. And in the middle of the lake, they saw a very beautiful lotus, and that lotus, the fragrance of the lotus was spreading everywhere. So everybody was uh, very wanting to get that lotus, but there were many black snakes in that lake. Everybody could see they were jumping the snakes, and then there was so much thorny bushes. So how to get that? So the Brahmana, uh, Shantacharya, he said, who can bring me that lotus? So the student said, no way, we cannot bring that lotus. Who is going to go there with so many snakes? Hearing this, Advaita Acharya, Advaita Prabhu, he smiled and he ran. And then he ran on top of the lake, and as he was stepping, one lotus flower used to come up. Then he would step another step, and another lotus flower used to come up. So he was stepping from flower to flower, and he reached the fragrant lotus. He picked it up and he brought it and gave it to the teacher. The teacher saw and was struck with wonder. He said, what? You have some divine power or something? Are you a demigod? So Advaita Prabhu said, all these three worlds are expanded from Lord Hari. So he said, if we dedicate our life to the service of Krishna with a pure heart, all the Ashtasiddhis will come under our control. So that is not a problem at all. So like this he told him. So it's then this teacher thought, this is beyond everyone. Ordinary person cannot talk like this. So he thought this Advaita must be the Lord himself. So after he completed his study, the teacher gave him the title called Veda Panchanana. Veda Panchanana. So they used to give titles because he was expert now. So Advaita Prabhu, he returned home, and he came and offered his obeisances to his parents. They were so happy. They were and they were so pleased. They kissed his head. They showered their blessings on him. Then one day, Kubera Pandit told his son, "You have nicely served your father and mother, and whoever serves his father and mother devotedly will enjoy the increased span of life, wealth, fame, everything he will get just by serving parents." So now he said, "Listen, I'm going to tell you something confidential. Your mother and I have both passed 90 years. Both are old now. So now one flower airplane will come and we will leave this world. So after we leave, you please offer oblations at the feet of Vishnu in Gaya." So as he was speaking, the celestial airplane came also, and the couple, they boarded the plane and went to Vaikuntha. And Advaita Prabhu, he was chanting the names of Hari and roaring loudly. And then he performed the standard rituals, and like an ordinary person, he also lamented, "Oh, my parents have gone." And then he remembered, "Oh, my father told me I should go to Gaya and I should offer my oblations at the feet of Vishnu." So like that, he went to Gaya, and from there he went on a pilgrimage. First, he decided to go to Nabhi Gaya in Orissa, and on the way he went to Remuna, and he saw that beautiful deity of Shirchor Gopinath. And then he went to first, so he went to Nabhi Gaya, and then he saw Lord Jagannath. Then after that, he went to Jagannath Puri. He saw Lord Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, and Lord Jagannath, he manifested as Krishna to him. So he saw Krishna instead of Jagannath, just like Lord Chaitanya also. Chaitanya never saw Jagannath as Jagannath. He saw him as Vibhuj Murlidhar holding the flute. So like that, even Advaita Acharya saw him like that. He was jumping in ecstasy, dancing ecstatically in so many ways. After that, after Puri, he decided to go to Rameshwaram. So now he was on a big pilgrimage. Now we'll see so many places he went. On the way, he bathed in the Godavari river. Then he visited many places of pilgrimage. He went to Vishnu Kanchi, Shiva Kanchi. So this is all South India. He took bath in the Kaveri river. Then he went to. So this is the picture of Shirchor Gopinath and the Remuna, the place, and that is the Nabhigaya in Jajpur, Orissa, below. So he went to many places. So when he went to south, he went to Madurai, and then he went to Rameshwaram, then he went to in the Rameshwaram. The Dhanush Tirtha is there. He took bath in that. Then Rameshwara Shiva also he worshipped, and then uh, he was saying to there that Lord Ramachandra is his Lord, and that he is Rama's servant. Like that, he was feeling very much blissed. Okay, then uh, he went to many other holy places. So like this, he was traveling. He came to Udupi. There he saw Madhavendra Puri for the first time. Madhavendra Puri is like a desire tree, like Kalpa Vriksha in the spiritual world. So he was, we saw Madhavendra Puri was overwhelmed with ecstasy. Madhavendra Puri was embracing Advaita Acharya and he was telling, who are you? What is your name? Where have you come from? And you are like a storehouse of pure love. So because Madhavendra Puri could see, he was none other than Harihara. So we are most fortunate to have you here, he said. Advaita Acharya said, my name is Kamalaksha, my residence is Shantipur, and he was telling him, you are an Acharya of devotional scripture, you are most renowned, please accept me as your servant, please teach me the science of devotional service. Like that, he was taking refuge of Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri was so happy to hear this from Advaita Prabhu, and then he he explained to him Srila Madhvacharya's commentary now, because Udupi is Madhvacharya's capital, right? Madhvacharya's commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam. So he explained it to Advaita Prabhu, and just by hearing it, Advaita Prabhu immediately memorized it. So the devotees were amazed to see this. Then one day Advaita Acharya told Madhavendra Puri by the that so Kali Yuga has come and these living entities are. I'm so feeling so bad for them. They don't know. They don't accept devotional service wherever we see all we see is unclean habits. Everybody's got unclean habits. Nobody's ever heard the name of Krishna. Who is Krishna? Nobody knows. And I don't know how these people will be delivered. Can you please suggest something? So Madhavendra Puri said, Kamalaksha, you are an ocean of compassion. You're always thinking of welfare of the living entities. But he said, unless the Supreme Lord himself incarnates, there's no easy way to deliver living entities. So he said, you know what? The original Supreme Lord will appear here in Kali Yuga. Do you know that? There is an evidence for this. And this evidence is there in Ananta Samhita. Then there is future reference in Srimad Bhagavatam and all. So he said, oh, where is it? I want to see. Where is this in Ananta Samhita? I want to see. So Madhavendra Puri showed him the reference in Ananta Samhita. And Advaita Prabhu was so delighted and he read it aloud. He said, the son of Nanda Maharaj, who is full in six opulences, will appear in Navadvip as Lord Gauranga. He will deliver the entire world by giving people love of God through the chanting of the holy names. Thus, he will fulfill the desire of this fallen soul. So, like this, he read it and he was so happy. Then he started showing ecstatic symptoms and he started for 3 hours he was chanting Gauranga, Gauranga, because now first time he's heard the name Gauranga. It's from the Ananta Samhita. So then he was chanting Gaura Mora Pranapati Jaha Tare Pai Veda Dharma Langi Mui Taha Choli Jai. Gauranga, Lord Gauranga is the Lord of my life. I will go wherever I find him, even if I have to transgress the Vedic injunctions. I don't care. I will go wherever I find him. So like this, he was chanting, chanting, and dancing. And then after 3 hours, he was just restrained himself. And then he had that thing copied down from Ananta Samhita, that reference. And then one day in the morning, he offered to obeisances to Madhavendra Puri and he said, I will continue on my travels. And this way he left. And he visited hundreds of holy places. So many holy places. It's a big list. And then he came to Dandakaranya. Then he visited Nasik. Then he left for Dwarka. Then he went to Prabhasha. Then he went to Pushkar. Then finally he came to Kurukshetra. Then after that, he continued again. From there, he went to Haridwar. He took the bath in the Ganga. Then he went to Badrikashram. There he got darshan of Vyasadev. He got darshan of Naranarayana. And then after a few days, he went to Gomukh. That is Gangotri. He went to Gomukh. Then, which is the source of Ganga. Then he went to Nepal, Gandaki River. Then went to there. He got Shaligram Shilas. Yeah, he took bath and when he rested and he was chanting, he found a Shaligram Shila one day. It was marked with a chakra and other auspicious marks. Later I will show you that Shila. Um, this is Narsimha Chila. He got it and he took it with him and then he left. And then from there he went to Mithila. Where is Mithila? Also in Nepal. This is the birthplace of Mother Sita. So he was rolling on the ground there. He was chanting in ecstasy, chanting. There he met one he heard one very sweet song. So he followed that sound and he met with the poet Vidyapati. So Vidyapati said, I am a fallen soul, I am a court singer, and then, but Advaita Acharya said, even Krishna is attracted by a nectarian songs. Don't say it this way. And this way he was very much happy. And after that, he went to Ayodhya and he saw the birthplace of Lord Ram and he took birth in the Sharayu River. So he eventually, again, he arrived in Varanasi. He took bath in the Ganga there in Manikarnika Ghat. Then he saw the Adikeshav deity, and then he offered his obeisances and his prayers. And then he went and chanted and danced before the deity of Bindu Madhav. So I'm sure most of us have seen this, all these, at least on internet. But Bindu Madhav deity is so beautiful. Then he went from there to the Kashi Vishveshwaraya temple. Kashi Vishveshwara temple, he worshipped Lord Shiva. He was in order to instruct people how we should worship Lord Shiva. So he requested Lord Shiva for the benediction of devotional service. So that's what we should do when we go to temples of Lord Shiva or any other demigods. Then we should only ask for benediction of devotional service. Then after that, he went to the Annapurna Devi deity, which is very close by there in Kashi Vishveshwar temple. And just next to that is the Annapurna Devi deity. And he prayed to the goddess also. And then he traveled on his way. Then again he came to Prayag. Prayag is a Sangam, Triveni. So when he came there, he shaved his head and he bathed in the Triveni Sangam. And offered his oblations to his forefathers. Then from there, he went and offered prayers to Veni Madhav. So there is Bindu Madhav. Here is Veni Madhav. Very, very similar deities, very beautiful deities. Then there, after that, he went to Mathura. So it's all in one line like that. So he came to Mathura, then he took bath in the Yamuna in Dhruva Ghat, and then he went to Govardhan. He was feeling so much ecstasy. He was dancing and singing, and then he was visiting all Radha Krishna's pastime places. And finally, he took rest under a banyan tree. So even today, this place is there called Advaita Vat. If you go there in Vrindavan. So in the end of the night, Advaita Acharya had a dream. And Krishna came to him in the dream. Krishna said, my transcendental deity, the Madan is in the name Madan Mohan. So he said Madan Mohan, but actually Madan Gopal. So Madan Gopal, Madan Mohan is the same. Right now it's called Madan Mohan. At that time was Madan Gopal. So he said it is situated in one kunja. I'll tell you where it is. You know the Yamuna River, Dwadashaditya Tila, next to Madan Mohan temple right now, there's one small elevated place called Dwadashaditya Tila. So he said, slightly under the ground on the bank of Yamuna is my deity. Please go. Previously, this deity was served by Kubja. But because the deity was in fear of these rogues and thieves, the villagers, they at that time they dug and put me in this Yamuna bank. So you please establish my deity worship, start again. So Advaita Prabhu, he woke up. Oh, he was filled with loving sentiments. He told the villagers, come on, all of you, quickly, let's go to Dwadashaditya Tila on the bank of Yamuna. And everyone, young, old, everybody came. They all they all uncovered that beautiful threefold bending form of Krishna. And with great efforts, the Vrajvasis, they took the deity out, and when they saw the deity's form, everybody was so enchanted. They built a small straw hut under that banyan tree, and then they bathed and installed the deities there. So Advaita Prabhu, he engaged one qualified Brahmana and then he went on a Vrindavan Parikrama. So this is in Shantipur. I will come to it later. So what happened? Some wicked Yavanas, they heard that deity installation had taken place. So they came to smash the deity. So they came with weapons and all to Advaita Vata. Then fearing this, what happened? Madan Mohan, he himself hid under some flowers there. There was some lot of flowers kept. So he went, the deity hid himself in the flowers. So amazing. So when they came, when the Mlechas, Yavanas, they came, they couldn't find the deities. So they were so frustrated. Then they left. Then the Brahmana, he came to worship. He also found the deity is missing. He cried and lamented. And then one child told when Mlechas had come, they had come to take away the deity. He thought that the Brahmana thought that gone, my deity is gone. He was thinking like this. Who was actually the pujari. Then he stopped eating anything. Then in the evening after parikrama, Advaita Acharya came there. The Brahmana told him this, all this happened. So Advaita Prabhu said, never mind, the Lord has came by his own will, and perhaps we did some offense, so he has left us. So he was so greatly distressed that he did not even drink water. And at night he was just passing the night under the tree, under the and then Madan Mohan appeared to him again. He said, I didn't go anywhere. I hid myself under the flowers in the fear of the mlechas. So you please, you can see, you go with your devotion. I will appear again in the same form. People will enjoy unlimited happiness by seeing me. Now you know where is Madan Mohan? Now he is in Karoli. When you go from Delhi, if you take, let's say, a taxi or something, going towards Jaipur. So Jaipur will go this way, and this way is Karauli. So Karauli, Madan Mohan is still there now. So after seeing that dream, Acharya, he rushed to the temple. He found Gopal under the flowers. Oh, he was so happy. And then he said it was full of sweetness. Advaita Acharya was so overwhelmed. And then he lost his external consciousness. He just fainted there. Then next moment, his hair stood on end. He was stunned and he started chanting the holy names of Hari. And somehow he he came back to his external consciousness. He offered fruits and water to Gopal, and then uh, he put him back in his altar. So then he came back in the morning. He told the Brahmana, "Go quickly, the Lord wake him up." So he said, "How to wake him up? He's not there in the temple." He said, "Krishna will not leave his devotee. Just go." And the Brahmana said, "Okay." He opened the door. He saw the deity on the altar. Wow, he was so overwhelmed with love. And then Brahmana offered so many prayers. They worshipped the deity in the name. That time his name was Madan Gopal. So from deity, then that day the deities came to be known as Madan Gopal. So one day Madan Gopal, he told, oh, Advaita Acharya told him in a dream. He said that one man of the name Chaube will come from Mathura, and this wicked mlechas, there's so much danger here, and so please hand me over to him. He will keep me safe. So he said, "You are my treasure of life. How can I leave you? How can a fish live without water? How can I maintain my life?" Madan Gopal says, "I will forever in your control. Don't worry. Without you, my pastimes are also incomplete. So I will reside with you only. So, but now for the time being, you kindly fulfill my desire, my devotee's desire. You give this deity to him, and he's. I'll tell you something. This deity is non-different from the painting that Sri Vishakha made. So Sri Radhika herself became enchanted on seeing that painting. If some of us must have remembered the episode where Vishakha Devi makes a painting of Krishna for Radharani, and Radharani, when she sees, she becomes totally amazed, enchanted by that painting. And that transcendental painting is still in Nikunjavan, in Seva Kunj. Go there, and without that, you will find it. Take that picture to Shantipur, and you will deliver the other living entities by inaugurating the worship. So like this, Advaita Prabhu was so happy after seeing that dream. He began to chant the holy names and dancing, and then after a couple of hours, he became a little bit calm. And that time the Chaube came. So Chaube came and he told, "You are incarnation of Krishna, you know everything, you have recovered the deity. Now the deity only has ordered me to please take him from you. So I have come to please give me that deity." So Advaita Acharya handed over the deity to Chaube and began to cry in separation. Then he left the place and he came to Nikunjavan. He found that picture. He was drowning in the ocean of love. Imagine the picture painted by Vishakha Devi. He carefully took that picture and he returned to his residence in Shantipur. And later on, we will see how this picture was then used to make a replica of that picture deity of Madan Gopal, which you see here in Shantipur. In the picture, you see Madan Gopal and Radharani. So this is a deity made by looking at that picture. An exact replica of that picture was made later on. So later on we'll see. So shall we take a 5 minutes break? Sharad Prabhu?
Yes, yes, Mataji.
Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, this painting is still there, the one you mentioned.
I can't hear you, Prabhu.
That painting which Vishakha
Yeah,
Devi
yeah.
made, that's
That is
still
the.
there.
Yes, yes, yes. It's still there.
Where is it now?
Which one? The one which is made from the painting is the one which you are seeing in the screen is in
Okay,
Shantipur.
okay. But the original painting is still there.
A painting, I'm not sure, Prabhu.
Okay, okay,
I
okay,
couldn't find any pictures of the painting, but only
okay.
the deity is there.
Wonderful.
If anybody knows, if anyone knows whether the painting is still there, I'm also curious.
Okay. Thank you. Wonderful, Mataji.
Thank you. Sharad Prabhu, I don't know whether I can complete this today.
Okay, you want to take the next session also? One more session?
I'll see, Prabhu, how much I can try. I'll try to complete because I've only done half of what I have prepared till now. Only half only completed.
Okay,
Not
then there is no issue. We can give. I'll adjust one more session for you.
okay, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Sorry, I can't. So many things are there to share. So I was.
Yes, yes. Actually, there are much more than what you are also speaking because I just mentioned there is a book, Prema Vilasa. If anybody has read it,
Yes, yes. Didn't.
that is a 500-year-old book written by whom Chaitanya Chirandasa. Uh, from that, I'll be giving some instances later on, not now. But the very important aspect, what you told about the Advaita Acharya being an incarnation of Harihara, that I will be explaining because many would not have understood the actual thing. So these are very great things, and actually you can keep on saying, explaining about these devotees. They will never finish only because their glories are also unlimited.
Yes, and to just cut short also is like very difficult. Where to cut short also I cannot understand.
Yes, yes. No, no, we have got plenty of time, rather unlimited time. There is no problem at all.
So Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So we'll begin again. So one day, Madhavendra Puri again he came to Shantipur. So now he meets Madhavendra Puri in his own place, Shantipur. And he was telling Advaita Acharya that you have pure love of Godhead. Now you have to make a painting of Sri Radhika, because now you have a painting of Krishna made by Vishakha Devi. Now you should make a painting of Radharani, and only by seeing Radha and Krishna together, then loving sentiments of gopis will appear. So in someone, so who takes the darshan. So worship of both Radha and Krishna, because until Madhavendra Puri came, even in the sampradaya of Madhvacharya, only Krishna was being worshipped, not Radharani. Only Madhavendra Puri introduced Radha Krishna worship. Radharani came only from Madhavendra Puri. So Madhavendra Puri now is telling Advaita Acharya, please make a painting of. So until now, only the painting was being worshipped. Painting of Krishna was being worshipped, Madan Gopal. And now Advaita Acharya, he he made a Madhavendra Puri told Advaita to make a picture of Radharani, and he also told him that you should get married now and you should lead a Krishna conscious life, and you will have many children, and they will distribute the holy names of the Lord, and they will all deliver the living entities. Like this, he told Advaita Acharya. So Advaita Acharya said, deity worship is very auspicious, but if somebody commits an offense, then his family will go to hell. Then Madhavendra Puri said, Krishna is controlled by you. Okay. And he will not consider any offense from your next 14 generations. Don't worry about this. So he said, okay. Then Advaita Acharya happily painted Radharani, and seeing these two paintings, one can easily develop prem for Radha and Krishna. So then Madhavendra Puri said, why I came here, this side of the world, is because he was in Udupi, South India. Now he has come to Bengal, that side. So he said that Gopal told me to come here because he said he wants like some cooling effect. So he came to look for sandalwood. So he is saying that Madhavendra Puri, he was then told him the whole story, and Advaita Acharya was in bliss, listening to the pastime. We all know about how he Shirachor Gopinath and all that, how he went, how that Gopal, which was in Vrindavan, he told Madhavendra Puri to bathe him and with apply sandalwood paste. So Madhavendra Puri then came to uh, Remuna on the way to Jagannath Puri, because he wanted to get the sandalwood from Jagannath Puri. So when he was passing by Remuna, he saw that there was a deity of Gopinath which was personally carved by Lord Ram from a precious stone, because Mother Sita wanted to see this form. Mother Sita wanted to see this beautiful form, and because Lord Ram told her that in the future Yuga I will come as Krishna. So Mother Sita wanted to see that beautiful form, and when Lord Ram personally carved this deity. She was so mesmerized by that deity, and later on, she was worshipping the deity. And that is the deity which is right now present in Remuna. That is the deity of Shirchor Gopinath. So, Madhavendra Puri, he went to Remuna, and Gopinath stole a pot of sweet rice. We all know this story, how Gopinath became to be known as Shirchor Gopinath. Because if I tell the story, then it will be too long. So then the episode of Shirchor Gopinath took place, and then Madhavendra Puri was again very happily went to Jagannath Puri to take the sandalwood from there. So Advaita Acharya one day he was sitting and one softly chanting the Gopal mantra. At that time, one Digvijay came there. And when he saw Advaita Acharya, he started reciting a poem on glorification of Tulasi Devi. Then he began to glorify Ganga Devi. Then finally, when Advaita Acharya opened his eyes and he said, "Oh, I have come to debate with you," he said. So Advaita Acharya then spoke in so many nice, wonderful ways, and he defeated that Digvijay. And the Digvijay thought, how is this possible? Lord Shiva had given me a benediction, had given me a benediction. He was had to become a Digvijay. And Lord Shiva had said that no one except me will be able to defeat you like that. And now that benediction has come to be null and void, it has become ineffective. What is this? At that moment, when he was thinking like that, there was a voice from the sky and it said, "Oh Brahmana, now you listen. This Kamalaksha or this Advaita Acharya is directly Harihara. And that is why his name is Sri Advaita." So, actually, from this time, his name became popular or famous as Advaita Acharya because it's not different from Harihara. Then the Digvijay looked into the sky, but he couldn't see anybody. Then he thought, "Oh, this is the Lord Himself. This is indeed Harihara." And to argue with him will be very sinful. So, like that, he said, "Oh, Advaita Prabhu, please be merciful to me. Please, uh, of, I'm an offender. Please forgive me," and all that. Then Advaita Prabhu, he instructed that you should worship Krishna and then you should read the Bhagavatam. And like this, he told him, and then he said, "Your name from now will become Bhagavata Acharya." So initiated this Digvijay. His previous name was Shama Das, and he was then initiated by Advaita Acharya as Bhagavata Acharya. So he took the order of his guru on his head and he read the Srimad Bhagavatam. So he told the Brahmana, that is the Bhagavatacharya, "Now you can leave, you can go home." And the Brahmana then left. So one day, you know who came? King Divyasimha came to Shantipur. Who is that? He is the previous king from Lauda, who is the worshipper of Kali, right? So he's all is now after seeing Advaita Charya and his activities, all his illusion was gone. And that king also had now become a Vaishnava. Because after listening to and hearing and witnessing Advaita Charya's wonderful activities, he came and he just bowed down to Advaita Acharya and he said, Advaita Acharya said, "Okay, okay, enough, you are Krishna's servant." So that is Krishna Das, right? Krishna's servant. So from that day on, the king's name became Krishna Das. So for the next 10 years, this king, this Krishna Das, he left everything and he was studying devotional literatures under Advaita Acharya. And then he became convinced that the Lord Krishna only was the supreme personality of Godhead. He gave up his chanting of Durga mantra and he started chanting Hare Krishna. So Advaita Acharya said that now Krishna is very pleased with you. And like that, then in this way, he made that king also a devotee of Krishna. So actually, the king, he became a wonderful devotee. He went to stay in one bank of Ganga. He just made one hut there, and he decorated his place with many beautiful flowers. And so that place came to be known as Fullavati. And by his devotional service, the king wrote also a very beautiful book in Sanskrit about uh, Lord's childhood pastimes. So that book is also available. Krishna Dasa's book. He was later on very popular. He went then at the end of his life. This king or Krishna Dasa, he went to Vrindavan, Brajadham, and he got the darshan of Krishna, and thus he achieved perfection. So imagine a king got such a beautiful ending by the mercy of Advaita Acharya. So now in the year 1450, uh, Lord Brahma and Prahlad Maharaj, these two personalities took birth as Srila Haridas Thakur. So we all know the pastimes of Haridas Thakur. They are quite a bit. So let us just briefly go through them. So there's in a village called Budana he was born, and he had memory of his past life as Brahmaji. So he was constantly chanting the holy names of Krishna. So imagine, boy, he was born in a Muslim family, but he left his house at the age of 5, and he was constantly chanting Hare Krishna, traveling to many holy places. And finally, he came to Advaita Acharya's house in Shantipur. Advaita Acharya immediately recognized him, who he is. He is Lord Brahmaji. He is now he is incarnated as Advaita Haridas Thakur. So he gave him shelter and he taught him the scriptures. So actually, Advaita Acharya was a real an Acharya. He was teaching scriptures to all the people whom he met. So like that, he gave him Harinam Diksha, and he gave him the name Brahma Haridas. So Haridas Thakur was also a disciple of Advaita Acharya. So one day, one person, one Brahman, his name was Narsimha Bhaduri. So he arrived in Shantipur. He brought along his two daughters, Sita and Shri. And Advaita Acharya invited them, and then he blessed them with a divine vision of his Chaturbhuj. When these two girls they saw Advaita Acharya, actually immediately they they remembered their that he, and they gave their hearts to him. Actually, they wanted to marry him. So at that moment, Srivas Thakur also arrived there, and he addressed the whole assembly. He told them the glories of Narsimha Bhaduri. Who is this Narsimha Bhaduri? And his transcendental daughters. So he said, this Narsimha Bhaduri, he is now living in Narayanpura. He actually appeared by the union of the Milk Ocean, Kshirosagar, and the Himalayas. So now you can understand that is the holy place of Lord Vishnu's residence is Kshirosagar, and Lord Shiva's residence is Himalayas. So the union of that is Narsimha Bhaduri. And how one Narsimha Bhaduri was a very great devotee of Lord Vishnu, and he was offering always lotus flowers. And how one day in a lake he found a lotus flower which had 100 petals, and in that lotus flower he saw a thumb-sized baby girl, small baby girl, thumb-sized, and she was so brilliant and effulgent and so beautiful. So he brought this lotus flower with the baby, and gave, and to the surprise, his wife also delivered on the same day, and she gave birth to another baby girl, and that baby girl was exactly resembling Lakshmi Devi. So this child in the lotus flower was none other than Yogamaya or Purnamasi, who helps Lord Krishna in his pastimes in Vrindavan. So she was named as Sita Devi, and the girl who resembled Lakshmi Devi was named as Shri Devi. So the wife, when she saw the child, Narsimha Bhaduri's wife, she saw that baby girl, that she was such a small child, just a thumb size. She was saying, how can we take care of this girl? She's so small. And when she was saying that, immediately the child grew to a normal baby size. And she placed the child in next to her baby. And this way, the two daughters, they were called as sisters, Shri Devi and Sita Devi, and they displayed so many wonderful pastimes. So this is all Srivas Thakur is telling these pastimes to all the assembly, including Advaita Acharya. Then he explained to them how one sannyasi came and the age of they were very young girls, but when the sannyasi was trying to talk about um, impersonalism, he wanted to become one with the Lord, and how the two girls, they spoke such wonderfully, and they convinced him that Krishna was the supreme and he had a personal form. So they asked him whether honey is better to become honey, or is it better to taste the honey. So in this way, they explained to that sannyasi, and the sannyasi became their disciple. So they were very small, they were only 5 years old when there was some occasion where there was um, some festival going on the other side of the Ganga, and there was a great storm coming, and then Nasima Baduri didn't know how he kept the two girls in the with a person saying that please take care of my daughters, and he went in a boat, and when he was going on in the boat on the storm, the two girls, they exhibited their potency, and they started walking on the Ganga, on the water of the Ganga. And they walked all the way. When his boat reached the land, they were walking. And he was so amazed by this wonderful scene which he saw. And they crossed by foot the Ganga, and they quickly he carried the two little girls, and he was amazed. What is this? What happened? So all this wonderful pastime was explained to the crowd by Srivas Pandit, and the whole assembly and Srivas Pandit, then they humbly requested Advaita Acharya to please marry these two sisters, and he also consented, and the wedding was performed on a grand scale. And one day, after they got married, one day, Madhavendra Puri came in the dream of Sita Devi, and he gave her mantra diksha. So she told this to Advaita Acharya, that I got a mantra diksha in my dream. And he was so happy. Now you're delivered, he said. Advaita Acharya then, on one auspicious day, he gave the same mantra to the two sisters and initiated them according to Vedic regulations. So one day, Srila Haridas Thakur, all this while Haridas Thakur was staying with Advaita Acharya, studying under him. So one day, Haridas Thakur said that I want to leave and I want to do some solitary bhajan. So he went to Fulia, and there he delivered one Brahmana by the name of Ramdas. So he became his disciple. And after some time from there, he left and he went, because he said he thought staying here for a long time, people will get too much familiarized. So I shouldn't stay in one place for a long time. Then he went to Benapol. And there in Benapol, he delivered a very beautiful prostitute. We all know this story, how he delivered her and gave her diksha. And immediately he left that place and asked her to use his cottage for her bhajan. And she became a great devotee. Then again he came back to Fulia. There he was. There were some Yavanas. They were very opposed to him when he spoke, and convinced them very convincingly. He taught them the that Krishna is the supreme and he is the supreme personality of Godhead. And the way he preached to them, the Yavanas immediately took his shelter. So he delivered Yavanas in Fulia, and then he went to another place called Kulia. So when he went to Kulia, he was living in a cave. There was a giant snake there, and the snake had a jewel on his hoods. So everybody was so fearful of the snake. But fearlessly, he caught hold of the snake and he chanted to it, Hare Krishna, chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. So he initiated the snake. So when Haridas Thakur, he would clap and chant, the snake would be dancing and so many ways, and tears would pour out from the eyes of the snake. And in front of everyone's eyes, the snake got a four-handed form and he went back to Vaikuntha. So when everyone saw this, the people of village, they took seriously to chanting the holy names of Krishna. So after that, Haridas Thakur returned back to Shantipur to reside with Advaita Acharya. So shall we continue in the next class, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji. We can have the question answer session. Balance of the things can be covered in the next session.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you very much. वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अद्वैताचार्य की जय. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, dear devotees. We will continue in our next session. Hare Krishna.
Lalitpriya Mataji, if we give the tomorrow's session to Archana Mataji, will it be all right? Then you take on the next weekend, the first one. I think it is your class only tomorrow.
It's okay, Prabhu. I can do next time. Prabhu.
Okay, Lalit Priya Mataji. Okay, I'll let you know.
Okay.
And now the session is open for question, answers, or comments. The devotees are requested to participate.
Hare Krishna, Mother. So nice there. I think as it's a better to continue next tomorrow because the momentum or the continuity is there, right? We'll remember. So many things, Mother. We heard past time because I was not to that. How Haridas Thakur lived, but we didn't know the entire sequence. I think that is unfolding. So
Yes,
the
yes.
whole sequence is, and then that gives a more, instead of seeing those things in isolation, when you see how Haridas Thakur, my understanding was his incarnation of Lord Brahma, but it's a Lord Brahma plus Lord Prahlad Maharaj. Maybe Sharad Prabhu can add little more on that when he discuss about. So this helps us to see the personalities. It also we see how Advaita Acharya, how we know his, who he is, but by knowing so many details, how he initiated them and lot of things, it's I mean, at least to me, it's a lot of information to understand. Thank you,
Yes.
Mother. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.
Actually,
Thank you.
there's one more personality in Advaita, in Haridas Thakur. That is Richika Muni's son. He is also came along with, because in you see in Mahaprabhu's Leela, so many people came, and they all wanted to participate, but everybody didn't have the chance to be singularly in one body. So they all came in, like many people, multiple personalities came in one body. So like that, you can see that in Mahaprabhu's Leela. So many like that devotees.
Yeah, so we'll maybe Sharath can give. Is it possible that different it can come as we understand Advaita Acharya, but our is it the mood? He imbibes the mood of so many. Prahlad Maharaj mood up. Lord Brahma and as you say the one. So is it the mood or physically they are imbibing? Really, I have no idea. Maybe I would like. To understand little, not now, but little more, so that we understand how it works, right? When want to understand that way, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, we are there is another class also scheduled for Haridas Thakur also. we can discuss in that in
Yeah,
great
okay.
detail.
Okay, Prabhuji. Makes sense.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Any other comment
Very
or question?
wonderful class, Prabhu Mataji.
Thank you,
So
Prabhu.
wonderful. Um, from the session you gave, Advaita Acharya married Sita, Sita, right? And
Sita Thakurani
the
and Sri Devi.
entry. But you said they were just 5 year old, is it?
No. They were 5-year-old when they walked past the Ganga.
Okay. So the marriage was later. Okay.
Yeah, was later.
Okay. And then the main pastime of Advaita Acharya, where he will worship with Tulsi, the Saligram Shila, that
Yes, to
is
come,
yet to
Prabhu.
come.
Yet to come.
Okay. Okay.
So
That is wonderful.
lot
Yeah.
of things to discuss. I've only done
Yeah.
half of what we are supposed to do.
Yes. And Advaita Acharya, you said, is a combination of
Mahavishnu,
Shiva and
Mahavishnu,
and
Sadashiva,
uh,
Sadashiva and Mahavishnu.
Sadashiva. Wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah, very very nice session, and the way you describe Mataji, it's like the whole story going in front of the eyes, or the pastime, not the story pastime. So
It's from
wonderful.
the book, Prabhu. Everything taken from the book only. Nothing from my
So
side.
Yeah, just one question here, So Sadashiva is also Vishnu avatar. It's not a Shiva then.
Yes,
Sadashiva and Mahavishnu, both are Vishnus, right?
yes.
Saratoji.
Correct.
Yeah. Not
That
Shiva.
is not Shiva, but his source of Shiva.
Source of Shiva. Correct. Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
so
Thank
Sadashiva is source of Shiva. Okay. So it's not the. So okay, then now I'm a bit lost technically. So there is Sadashiva, there is Rudra, there is Shiva. If you
Yes.
can
Correct. Rudras
explain
are
or yeah.
Sadashiva is in the spiritual world. Lord Shiva
Hmm.
comes from Sadashiva, and the 11 Rudras are helping Lord Shiva
Hmm.
in his
Because
past.
when you said it was like Sadashiva was having conversation with Mahamaya, right? For a
Yes,
long time.
Mahamaya is his eternal consort. Yes. Mahamaya or Yogamaya. Yogamaya. Yogamaya.
Oh, Yogamaya. Okay.
Yogamaya.
Okay. Okay. Yogamaya is the same who does all the pastime in
Yeah,
Vrindavan.
Purnamasi. Purnamasi.
Purnamasi. So Purnamasi and Sadashiva are like
Yes.
consort and
Consort. Yes.
okay. And then in the material world it becomes Shiva and Durga. Right?
Mahamaya. Yes.
Okay, Matki, that is good clarification. Thank you.
Thank you.
So
Okay.
one more last question. You
Yes.
mentioned about that deity which covered itself with the flower. That pastime was in Vrindavan, right? And then
Yes, Vrindavan.
from Vrindavan,
Advaita.
where is that? Is that deity now still there? It's in
Yes, that deity is in
Delhi,
Karoli. I said no, Karoli.
Karoli. That's near
Madan
Delhi.
Mohan. Madan Mohan.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu.
And sorry, last thing. So I created a link where I'm uploading all the PPTs. And I think all of you should have access. I have sent it in the WhatsApp group. I have uploaded your previous PPT, Mataji.
Okay, Prabhu.
For others, either you can upload yourself or just put in WhatsApp. I will get it uploaded. I think
Okay.
I don't have from you, Prasad Prabhu, and I will upload mine also. And Mataji, yours also today, if you're using a PPT,
Okay, Prabhu.
either upload there directly or just put it in WhatsApp. I will upload it quick.
Okay, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Any other question or comment, or when you are thinking or thinking of the questions, I just want to add something. Now we all know that Lord Narayana is the predominating deity of opulence in Vaikuntha, and he is Krishna's plenary portion. And he has got four hands in which he holds a conch, disc, club, and lotus. And Lord Krishna, we know he is the fountainhead of all the incarnations. And there is no difference between Krishna and his incarnations. Although their features and their pastimes, they are distinct from one another. Now, Lord Krishna has two immediate expansions, Lord Balrama and Sadasiva. Now, please understand this very, very clearly. A long time back, many years back, I had taken a class on Lord Sadasiva, Rudra, and Shiva, and all that. You would have forgotten. But the essence I will give. Now, Krishna has two expansions, Balrama and Sadasiva. They are none different from Krishna. They accept the mood of a devotee always, both Sadasiva and Balrama. Now, they appear as separate entities. Still, then they are identical with Krishna in all respects. Now, the original Sankarsana of the first quadruple expansion is the Prakasa Murti of Balarama. Now, you know the expansions, the first expansion that is from Lord Krishna, Balarama, he is the first expansion. Then from Balarama comes the first quadruple, that is Vasudeva, Sankarsana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. And from this Sankarsana of the first quadruple comes Narayana, and from Narayana comes the second, the quadruple, that is Vasudeva, Sankarsana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. Then from the second Sankarsana comes the the Khirodaksai, the Karandaksai Vishnu, Garbhodaksai Vishnu, and Khirodaksai Vishnu. That is, that's how we refer to the first quadruple and the second quadruple. Now, I spoke about the first quadruple expansion. Sankarsana is a Prakasa Murti of Balrama. Now, the Sankarsana of the second quadruple is a Vilasa Murti of Balarama. Now, this Prakasa and Vilasa expansions, they are given in the Laghu Bhagavatamrita by Rupa Goswami. This we have gone through in very great detail. Now, this later Sankarsana, that is Sankarsana of the second quadruple, he is also known as Lakshmana. Who took part in the activities of Lord Rama. And in this way, Balarama enjoys through his various expansions. Now, in order to create Sadasiva along with his expansions, Rudra, they appear as Mahavishnu. Thus, Sadasiva is an incarnation of Mahavishnu, and but still there is no difference between them, and this is the Shastric version. Now, the combined form of Mahavishnu and Sadasiva is known as Harihara, what we learned today. And Harihara, he feels great compassion for the conditioned souls of Kali Yuga, and he underwent severe austerities for 700 years, we are told today, in order to obtain an audience with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, and in order to pray for their deliverance. And after offering eloquent prayers to Lord Krishna, Harihara asked how the people of Kali Yuga can be delivered. And Krishna, he replied that simply by chanting my holy name, one will get delivered in the Kali Yuga. Now, this is all about Harihara, and about more of his the pastimes of pastimes of Advaita Acharya, which are given in Prema Vilasa, that I'll be talking sometime later. In the so when it comes in the sequence, I'll be following the actually Prema Vilasa. Prema Vilasa is also a very huge book. It consists of about 10,000 verses and 24 chapters. That will come later. Now, regarding the today's class, if you have got any more questions or comments, the time is still there. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dhanvat Pranam Mataji. Thank you for
Hare
so
Krishna,
wonderful class,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Thank you,
Thank
thank
you
you,
so
Rakshama.
much, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
थैंक यू माताजी. माताजी, आप कहते हैं कि हम बुक में से सब लेते हैं, मगर अब जो कहने का भाव भी ऐड होता है तो और ज्यादा लगता है. जो आप भाव से बोलते हैं तो, और बुक में तो सब पढ़ते हैं, मगर जो कहने की स्टाइल है जो, तो वो उसे हमें और जल्दी से याद भी रह जाता है माता जी. दैट इज
Huh?
मोर इफेक्टिव.
Really?
आपको सब.
All your
हाँ
blessings,
माता जी.
Mataji. Thank you. Please,
थैंक यू
please,
सो मच माता जी.
blessings of all the devotees. Actually, I'm making so many mistakes, but devotees are kind, so they will excuse me.
माता जी हम सब मिस्टेक करते हैं, इसमें कोई बात नहीं है. सबकी मिस्टेक होती है. डजेंट मैटर.
Yes, I know.
उसमें से हमें सीखना है माता जी. उसमें से हम सीखेंगे.
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dilwar Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Harsha
Very
Mataji.
wonderful session, very wonderful session.
Thank you,
We
Mataji.
just got drained out in this continuously without any break. It was so nice to hear. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much,
I'm
Mataji.
getting to hear so many things sitting at home. So wonderful. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, thank you. Thank you to Sharad Prabhu and Charu Prabhu. Because of
Yes,
them,
Sarath
this
Prabhu
is happening.
and Charu. You're right. Absolutely. Everything goes to them too. Thank you, Sarath Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Lalit Priya Mataji, can you hear? Lalit Priya Mataji? Okay, then I'll send a message to her. Otherwise, we'll have the next session tomorrow only. Archana Mataji's balance of the class on Advaita Prabhu.
Okay.
Hare
Advaita
Krishna Prabhuji,
Acharya.
please accept
Ah,
my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Yes, Prabhuji, I missed your message. Sorry, I was.
Mataji, we want to hear the second part of Advaita Acharya's lifetimes from Archana Mataji tomorrow. If we shift your class to the next weekend, will it be all right?
It's all right, Prabhuji. I actually messaged you on the chat box saying that it's okay for Archana Mataji
Okay,
to do
okay, okay,
tomorrow.
okay.
And if you're rescheduling, please reschedule for your Sunday morning because on my Friday nights I come late
Okay,
from a course. So
okay,
I'm
okay.
unable to make it on time. So I kindly request you to
Okay, okay,
reschedule.
I'll do that. I'll do that. That means tomorrow we'll have Advaita Acharya only.
Okay,
Thank
Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
thank you, Lalita Priya Mataji. Thank you for it.
It was a wonderful session, Mataji. When we always hear, we have some ecstasy in our. It's just that I'm unable to do justice to attend the full session. Sometimes I'm traveling, sometimes I'm late.
Yes, yes.
But the recording, I'll go back and listen whenever time. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
bringing all the facts and information and truth. It's nice to hear from you. Thank you so much. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji. Thank you. You're very kind.
हरे कृष्णा. धन्यवाद. प्रणाम शरद प्रभु जी. प्रभु जी, माता जी का हेल्थ कैसा है अभी?
Okay, I'll give a feedback on that. She was discharged from the hospital on 11th. Now she is at home. The physiotherapy is going on, and the progress is quite good. And on 30th, we have to go and consult the doctor. Let us see. Perhaps this physiotherapy will carry on for about a month or so from now. That means I'll be leaving this place, that is Bangalore, for Bhubaneswar toward the end of February. That is, as of now, this is the program. So thank you very much for praying for her. And I'm very much indebted to all the devotees. Thank you very much. And another thing, next weekend, sometime, or I'll find out and plan, then let you know. Raksha Mataji, Lalit Priya Mataji, and Samta Mataji, I'll give a schedule of the Nrsimha mantras. Will recite for about half an hour for Charu Prabhuji for his the upcoming course, upcoming classes, and for him, that's what he also wanted. He had sent a message, and I'll also incorporate Rajiv Prabhuji in this. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
श्योर प्रभु
Thank
जी,
you very
श्योर.
much,
थैंक
Prabhuji.
यू
Hare
प्रभु जी.
Krishna.
Thank you so
Praying
much.
for Mataji's speedy recovery. Hopefully she's getting better.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, Sir Prabhuji. Danvat Pranam. Very nice to hear Mataji's health. She will be recovered very
Yes.
early.
Thank you, Mataji.
Mr. Raghu, so mid of Feb, I will be traveling to your place, which is Puri. Now we are at my town. So
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yes,
Feb 12, we'll go for 2 week yatra, Puri and Vrindavan. So
okay.
kindly please bless our travel as well.
I'm still here, and we'll certainly meet. And your
Yes,
that package thing, I hope it has been
that's
resolved.
sorted. Yes.
Okay. Okay, if there are no questions,
Sanjeev Prabhuji, please pray for all of us. Jai
Yes,
Jagannath.
yes, Mataji, Jai Jagannath. And yeah, we'll be tour to Vrindavan as well with Vaisheshika Prabhu, ISKCON Silicon Valley. So please bless and pray all go well for my yatra. And yeah, surely we'll play for all of us together.
then we
Thank you,
can have the
Prabhuji.
Nrsimha
Happy
prayer.
Vrindavan Yatra. Happy Puri Yatra.
Thank you, Mataji. Yeah. Still some time. It's mid of Feb to end of Feb. Yeah. But yeah, but eager for that.
Mataji, we can have the Nrsimha prayers to conclude the class today.
Okay. नमस्ते नरसिंहाय नमस्ते नरसिंहाय प्रह्लाददायिने प्रह्लाददायिने हिरण्यकाशीपूर्वक्षः हिरण्यकाशीपूर्वक्षः शिलाटङ्कानखालये शिलाटङ्कानखालये इतो नरसिंहा परतो नरसिंहा यतो यामि ततो नरसिंहा बाहे नरसिंहा हृदये नरसिंहा नरसिंहमधिं शरणं प्रपद्ये तव करकमलवरे नखा अद्भुतशृङ्गागलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गा केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय प्रह्लाद महाराज जय प्रह्लाद महाराज प्रह्लाद महाराज जय प्रह्लाद महाराज जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद विष्णुदेव भगवान की जय भक्तराज प्रह्लाद महाराज की जय जय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल श्री प्रभुपाद की जय हो Thank you, dear devotees. We'll meet again tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Archana Mataji. Very nicely explained.
Hare
Thank you so
Krishna.
much.
Thank you,
Hari
Krishna.
Bol.
कृपा सिंधु भी उच्च पतितानां
Thank you,
Thank you.
Bhakti. Thank you so much. Dandavat pranam to all.
Thank you, Mataji. Very nice to explain. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Sarat Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji.